Hello everyone, in this video I'll be doing a tier list of all the heroes in Marvel Rivals after scraping through tons of data on competitive gameplay as well as playing the game for countless hours myself. I'll be ranking the best characters on this tier list and giving you my reasoning why I think that they're this way. Now, I'll just get it out of the way. The best characters I believe in this game are Doctor Strange, Luna Snow, Mantis, and for duelists, Hawkeye and Hela are really great as well. So those are kind of the meta picks right now. Magneto in the mix as well, but I'll be going through all of the best characters here, I guess starting with Groot, who I think is one of the most underrated. Actually, Groot has the highest damage of all Vanguards, and the reason that his damage is so good, so if you're gonna wall off someone, typically the way you want to play Groot is like if you have, let's say, a support class right here, you can pop up your wall here and your wall attacks them. So see, it takes 2 hits to be able to take someone out with this, so that is really good damage. he can out damage most people just by doing that. We also have the grenade attack here, which is nice for finishing foes off. But you can see that the walls just do so much damage, making Groot a very underrated character. In addition to this, Groot can also place down this bigger wall here, which will give him healing if he's within range, and the range is very generous for this. So with all this put together, Groot is a very strong and definitely an underrated hero. I would say I want to put him in the S tier. I think he's definitely worthy of that, because if you have a good Groot player, you're gonna win. But the only thing is, he can be annoying if you have a player that doesn't know how to retrieve their walls when they're no longer necessary, or if you have someone that's just putting them in the worst possible places. But with the right approach, Groot can get in, take out a support class really quickly, and then get back out and put up his walls to protect him. Also, if someone like Winter Soldier pulls him away, he can pop up walls and protect himself. So there's a lot to love when it comes to Groot. So I would have to say that Groot is probably going to go somewhere in the S tier for me. Probably lower end of the S tier. I just think Groot is underrated, and especially if you play him well, he can be very, very powerful. Next, we got ourselves Adam Warlock. Now, Adam's in a weird place, because in the movies, he's very quick, but in the game, he's the slowest. He doesn't have any getaway skills like the others do, so like Rocket, he's got the boost to be able to get away. Luna Snow just moves fast after about a second. Mantis has faster movement speed, and the other healers do have other ways of getting around. So the biggest problem with Adam Warlock is if you get jumped, you better hope that you're able to take the enemy out. So you can go for headshots. His damage is really strong, and it's weird. So his alternative fire here is a charged up beam attack, which can do a ton of damage. And then the main fire is actually a hit scan weapon. So the alternative fire being projectile based, but the your main attack there is hit scan, so you can follow it up with an attack like that. So typically if you're going against someone, you would like to aim for the head, but you can follow it up with your attack right after to finish them off really quickly. So boom, boom, finish them off. The only problem is Adam Warlock is very difficult if he gets soloed, because he can't fly away. You do have this heal that's really nice and can heal yourself, but you also have your Soulbound, which will apply damage to all targets or all your teammates, and then in addition to that, it'll give a heal over time. The problem being, if he gets one-on-one, he is pretty weak there. So I like Adam Warlock a lot, but I'd have to say he's probably somewhere into the B tier as far as heroes go. He just lacks what others have with a getaway or great healing. Next is Black Panther, who has some interesting mechanics I don't see people taking advantage of. So the spear throws, this is a big part for him. So you can throw that there, and our left shift attack is this dive forwards, which we get 2 of if we attack someone with this. So this will actually give you back your dash attack, which is really nice. So basically your setup is throwing a spear, going and dashing through them, dashing back, and then you can throw a spear again and go ahead with another attack, or you can follow it up. There's a few different combos for Black Panther. When you play Black Panther, the main thing you want to be doing is going for attacks that are going to set up your damage against the support classes. So you can see there, we just went with that. So throw, you can go with your shift attack, and then follow it up with another shift throw, and then another shift attack. That's typically the best damage for Black Panther, but he is a bit lacking in other ways of dealing damage. Not a bad hero by any means, but you need to know your role when you're playing Black Panther, and that is to get in and attack the healers. So very fun class, especially if you can get in and do a bunch of damage with him, but otherwise the mobility really nice. He's just a bit squishy too, with only 300 health and no real other ways other than the dash. I would say that Black Panther is probably like a B to an A hero. I am just going to put him into the A tier, or into the B tier, probably somewhere around Adam Warlock in terms of skill. Next, we got ourselves someone that I think is pretty overrated with Black Widow. So Black Widow is basically Widowmaker. You just want to get in there and go for headshots, but as you can see, she's not able to fully take enemies out with her headshots, even with the season buff damage. So she's not bad, but she does struggle when in close range. You do have these batons, they don't do enough damage. You have your kick attack, and then you also have, you got yourself a dash attack, but with her, it's really just about sitting behind and going for headshots, and Hawkeye is just better at doing this. Yes, she has a scope, so it should hypothetically be easier for her to get headshots off, and it is easier for her because her weapon is hit scan, so that's really nice. But the thing is, you're not going to be able to one-tap anyone like Hawkeye can, and that's where Hawkeye truly shines. So Hawkeye being really good makes Black Widow just look like a worse companion, and I've seen many bad Black Widows in my day, so I wish she was a little bit better. Maybe she'll get a buff later on, but I'd have to say that Black Widow is probably going to go into the D tier. I still stand by my decision. I did have some people say that I was wrong last time I said this, but I just don't think she brings anything unique to the table. Next, we got ourselves Captain America, who I previously thought was a little bit better than he is. I love playing as Cap. Basically, you're going to be running around and jumping a lot, and you got this attack here. His damage is not strong enough, though. The thing is, he does, if you have 2 hits here, you can go with 4 shield throws, which is nice, following up. But his damage is just so low. He needs a buff for sure. So you can see here, we got multiple shield attacks if you get 2 punches in, so that's really big. He's also got this other shield throw that you can do. You got this nice dash attack that you can use to get away. But the problem that Captain America faces is, unless you got Thor to power you up and give you more damage, you're pretty useless as far as damage goes. I love Captain America, don't get me wrong. I think he definitely deserves a nerf, or he definitely deserves a buff. And also his ultimate's really good too, giving us the ability to get a bunch of extra damage and healing, just because we can play a bit more aggressively. His shield will also deflect bullets randomly. I wish you could deflect it right back at the enemy. That'd be great for some of the ultimates, like going against Star-Lord. But for the most part, Captain America definitely needs a bit of a buff because he's just not that strong offensively. Great tank, but I think there's better options as far as tanks go. So Captain America, it pains me to do this, but I'm probably going to put Captain America probably in the C to B tier. I might put him in B just for the sake of it, but I do feel like he is a bit lacking in terms of offensive options. I love Captain America, so I might just, we'll put him C tier. Next, we got Cloak and Dagger. Now, Cloak and Dagger is really good. This is my main. I love Cloak and Dagger. What makes them great is their healing. You don't want to be a heal bot all the time, and that's something that I've seen a lot of people talk about, is playing her just as a healer, which, yes, 80 to 90% of the time you want to be healing, because you have this nice bubble, which you can, if you set up strategically, can keep your entire team getting healed. You also have this wave that will heal over time. But the big thing about Cloak and Dagger is going into cloak form. So Cloak's great if you have, like, let's say there's a healer that comes right behind you and you're able to get this attack off here. You can also use the blinding attack there so that they can't see. So if you're able to get behind someone, blind them, and then keep dealing this damage, it can be really good. However, the best usage for using Cloak is actually whenever you get jumped yourself. Let's say you're fighting along and an Iron Fist comes out of nowhere and you need to get away. Go into your alternative form and go into the invisible and press and hold down spacebar or your jump button. Whenever you do that, you're going to get up and away, and it'll hopefully keep you safe. That's really the biggest focus for using Cloak, is the defensive getaway. But you can see the damage is really good on Cloak. Damage is not great. It takes about 17 knives, 18 knives to be able to take out a target. But it's great for finishing enemies off. Sometimes you can be the last hit because you attack really quickly. And while the damage isn't much, if someone just needs 2 hits to be taken down, you can do that really easily. Also a pretty great ultimate with the ability to heal, and you can actually go back and forth with this if you want to set up a really crazy heal. So you just go back, stand in this, and you're pretty much invincible, so you can go into cloak form and then just blast away like that. Cloak and Dagger, I would say, is probably high A tier to S tier, depending on how you play it. I think for most people, though, Cloak and Dagger is actually really good because it makes the aim a lot easier. If you're a not amazing player, Cloak and Dagger's S tier. If you're a pro, it's probably A tier because Mantis and Luna are just better. I'm gonna put her in the S tier though, because she can be really good, especially if I see someone in a public lobby and they're using Cloak and Dagger. They're likely going to be pretty decent. But next we got ourselves Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange because he's got cool tech. So the big thing is I rebound some of the attacks so I have my portal on 3. But Doctor Strange is really good at animation canceling, so you can go with your attack, follow it up with a melee, and then pop your shield. That is the combo that you want to be putting off. So you attack pretty slowly as Doctor Strange, so you can see here, boom, 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 boom. So what you want to be doing as Doctor Strange is going attack and then use your melee. You can do that right in quick succession, and then you can also pop up your shield. So attack, melee, pull that up. I was not in range there. Attack, melee, pop up your shield. Attack, melee, pop up your shield. Attack. And what's nice about this is you can actually get this off really quickly, because the timing for your attacks in between your melee it's enough to get that both off, but then the shield actually is a nice animation cancel. So if you do your melee, you can pop that, melee, pop that, melee, pop that. So it's kind of a nice combination to get into, and then you have a really good area of effect. And your shield is 800, and the shield recharges faster than anyone else's shield. So you're very tanky. You also have this nice ability to fly upwards. So what's good about this is I like to fly up and then kind of draw their aggro by moving around in weird erratic movements, because it actually pulls a lot of people's attention that way. Only really like to use that when I'm getting low on health, but Doctor Strange actually has really good range too, in addition to all that, so he's an easy S tier. And also the Eye of Agamotto here, whenever you use this, if you have a bunch of dark magic built up, this will actually take out a lot of enemies, because their spectral form will take damage in addition to their normal form, so you can double your damage. So yeah, Doctor Strange, brokenly strong. I hope he doesn't get a nerf, because I don't think he needs a nerf. It just feels right to have Doctor Strange be this strong. I want to put him at the very top of the S tier. He's the strongest hero that we've covered thus far. But next we got ourselves Hawkeye, which Hawkeye is kind of an interesting one, because you have to have a lot of skill to play as Hawkeye successfully, because his bow. So you can see here we can take enemies out with one shot with his bow. You need to have a really good shot though. That's the thing with Hawkeye. He's going to be hard to use unless you can aim your shots. You can see your damage building up there too, 100%, boom. You can also shoot really quickly. And you have different types of arrows. You got these exploding ones that are pretty nice for just switching things up. I prefer just using the regular bow. It has unlimited ammo, so that's actually crazy, because you can just continually shoot away at this. And then he's also got this double jump, which is really nice if you get someone jumping you. And then you can use a sword attack as well. And you also have these different types of arrows too on your E. So Hawkeye is extremely good. I don't need to say too much about him. He's really powerful for a reason. Because the bow. So if you like Black Widow and you're not sure who to play, Hawkeye is probably the best choice for you. So yeah, really good with the aim, and he just completely shreds. So Hawkeye, definitely a S tier choice, and really cool design too. I just want to take a moment to highlight that they cooked with his design. But next we got ourselves Hela, who is also very strong. Where Hela succeeds is actually being a sniper. So you can see there, the damage, pretty crazy. She also has really good ability. She has the ability to get away. So if you need to, you can use the bat or the crow attack there to fly away. The crow of Odin. And she also has that orb attack there. And she also has this multi attack there, which is also really good. But the thing with Hela is she's kind of like Hawkeye, just without a scope. Or I guess Hawkeye doesn't really have a scope, but a little bit less challenging, I guess. Hela, I just feel like, is strong in general, and her ultimate is really good. So this attack here does nice chip damage, but her main attack is really her bread and butter. You can see there, it just shreds people down. I think that she's maybe a bit better than Hawkeye. It's hard to say though, like they're both very good heroes and very strong on offense. So I'd have to say that Hela's probably also another S tier choice, just because of the damage output that she has. So I'll probably put her somewhere maybe better than Groot. Next we got ourselves Hulk. Now Hulk kind of got the short end of the stick in this game. I think Hulk should be a little bit better. She's kind of like the diva of this. So you got Banner form, which does peanuts of damage. He's also got that grenade. What's cool with the grenade is you can use the grenade to propel yourself forward, but you want to be in Hulk form pretty much all the time. So Hulk has a nice shield there. He also has this jump, so you can jump in. Hulk's damage just isn't as good as it should be. You also have the Hulk ultimate form. But the thing is with Hulk, you want to be moving around a lot. He's a dive tank, kind of similar to Venom. And he's also got a ranged attack there if someone happens to get away from you. And you also got a ability to bind targets in spots. So Hulk's nice, but I just feel like he just lacks a little bit of what other characters have. Like, he's not as defensive as like Doctor Strange or Magneto. He's a dive tank, but it just feels like he's missing something to be very powerful. So I'd have to say that Hulk is probably, I don't know, I don't want to be harsh, but I might put Hulk in the C tier. I hope that they give him a buff. Yeah, Captain America is better, I would say, than Hulk, but they're both meh. Next, we got ourselves Iron Fist, who I previously thought was really good, but that was just not true at all. He's strong, but the thing is, whenever you get to learning how to counter Iron Fist, he's not that bad. He used to be really good for taking out like support classes, but basically you got this really powerful attack here which can just shred people. He's got a recovery which can heal himself. He's also got like a quadruple jump, so you can just have crazy movement speed, mobility. He's fun to play. I think that Iron Fist is really fun, but he's not as broken as people have said he was in the past. I would have to say that Iron Fist is probably, I might go A tier, maybe B tier, somewhere around there. I just feel like he's just not as good as some of the other heroes, but maybe we'll go A tier. Most people know how to deal with him. He could be B tier, B to A tier, somewhere around there. I'll just put him in the A tier. Next, we got ourselves Iron Man, who I think is actually not as good as a lot of people thought at start. So he's good. He's good at moving around. So he can get up really high and you can stay away from people. You got multiple different attacks. This charge beam attack, which has basically you have 100 energy and your bolts here will do 10 of that energy, or holding this down will do a certain amount of it before you have to recharge. You typically want to stay very far away and blast like this as much as possible because he's very squishy. 250 health can be taken out relatively quickly, and whenever people ping him, that's when the whole team will gang up on him and probably take him out very quick. He also has some other attacks that can enhance his damage, which is nice, and this will give him infinite amounts of shots, so you can use this to just blast away a little bit stronger. But typically Iron Man will get taken out pretty quickly, so he's not that strong in all honesty. Similar to Storm, they fly around, so that obviously comes with some issues that they had to address. He's got one of the best ultimates in the game though. Fusion Pulse, KO, instant KO. Very annoying to deal with, but I don't think that Iron Man is really that great. Some people love him. I would have to say he's probably C tier, somewhere around there. Just not that great. Next we got Jeff the Land Shark, everyone's favorite land shark, and for some reason everyone keeps saying he's S tier. Jeff is not S tier. He's got this nice attack here which has splash damage, pun intended, and he's also got this heal which won't damage enemies, but you can use that to heal your teammates. His healing is not as good though. Even Cloak and Dagger out heals him. He's also got these bubbles which you can pop around that will give you health and increase movement speed, which is nice. If he needs to get away, he can use shift to run away, and he'll also sing the Jaws theme song, which is pretty funny. But I find that Jeff's kind of a noob trap. He's the most played character in the game. Recent data came out that 54% of people end up using Jeff in a game, so that's pretty solid. The only problem is he's not very strong. This attack here is not strong enough. His ultimate's really the biggest thing going for Jeff that can take out an entire team off of a point. If you're holding a position, Jeff can literally go in there, eat everyone, and take them off. I've even had Jeffs on my own team kill me. So it happens often where you just have bad Jeff players. So that's not to say the character himself isn't bad. He just doesn't have as much healing as some of the others. I think Jeff needs a nerf in the size of his ultimate and maybe a buff to his healing. And I think that would make him a lot better. But as it stands, I would say Jeff's probably low B tier, probably somewhere around there. But next we got ourselves Loki. Now Loki is an interesting one because if you're really skilled, Loki's going to be awesome. But it really relies on you using Loki's clones. So you can pop them down, and with this they will also attack with you and they'll also heal with you. So you can use this to basically triple your healing. We also have this invincibility where we can use this rune and create areas of invincibility for our team and for ourselves. So it's a nice panic button. And also if someone comes up on you, you can right click, disappear, and it'll create a body for you, and then you can go ahead and attack. And you can also swap places. So if you're getting attacked, let's say someone comes up on you, you can swap places with one of them. And then what's fun is even just standing in place afterwards, after swapping, because they won't know which one of you is the real you. So you can have some big brain plays with Loki. I just feel like he needs a bit more healing. And he also has a really great ultimate that copies whoever is you're pointing at and will turn into them. So I think Loki's fun, but he just doesn't have the same offensive output as some of the others, and it's not enough healing. So I might put him in the low B tier, probably even C tier. I think Loki needs a buff somewhere, but he's not that bad. I don't know. We'll probably throw him right around here, or maybe B tier, somewhere's there. Next, we got ourselves Luna Snow. Now, Luna Snow is awesome. Where Luna succeeds is in both healing mobility, and a get out of jail free card. So if you get attacked by someone, you can just hit them with that frostbite. They're frozen. If you shoot them again, they'll unthaw. But what's nice about her is you see this movement speed. You're the fastest character, and you can jump and use this to like just kind of like stay mobile and stay avoiding getting shot. In addition to this, you can also, so you have the ability to apply the guard to your teammates, so you can guard someone, and when you heal another person, they'll get healed as well. So what's nice about this is we can apply that to them, and you can see there I'm healing that person, but then my teammates getting healed as well. So use this on your more squishy characters. So if you have like a Iron Man or a Star-Lord, you can throw that on them to be able to protect them a little bit. You also have incredible range, so that's another nice thing. And then you also have this attack here, which whenever you do this, it does your attack speed slows down, but it pierces through, so you can heal your teammates and damage enemies at the same time. And she also has one of the best ultimates in the game, with giving your entire team invincibility, and whenever you use that, you can swap between the damage boost and the extra health to really buff it up. So Luna Snow, very easy S tier. She's one of the best characters in the game. I would have to say probably around there. Next we got ourselves Magik. Now Magik's an interesting case. I think that Magik is really great on a good player, but she also can lack if you don't have a good team surrounding her. So she has to get in close. She also has these portal attacks, and you can do like you get two different attacks coming out of the portal. So when you go into the portal, you can also right click and drop a little demon, which will deal damage over time, or you can go with a big cleave attack that hits in a big area of effect. Her swings will be pretty strong. They are very generous with the hitbox, as it makes sense. You also have this nice dash attack that you can follow up with a swing, and also you got this charged attack here, which you can do. And also we got, I guess I'll try to land that again. There you go, the uppercut slash, which can upset targets, which is really nice. You can see there, that's a nice range attack. So if you keep at a distance, Magik's real kit is getting in. Oops, I meant to hit the target with that. Going in and doing your portals to like, your portals are really your survivability, because whenever you go through a portal, you can't be hit, and it makes the enemy really have a hard time hitting you. They also have a really great ultimate that's just basically a buffed up version of themselves, so you can go ahead with these big swings and then also drop down the little gremlin there. You got a very powerful, everything about Magik is powerful. It's just like getting her into position is hard. So yeah, with a good player, Magik can be really great, but you need your team supporting you to really shine. I would have to say that Magik's probably A tier. I think she's better than Iron Fist, so we'll go somewhere around there. Next, we got ourselves Magneto. Now, Magneto is really fun because he's got a lot of tankiness. He's got this shield here, which will block all damage, so you can pop that up, stay safe, and you can also bubble yourself and stay safe with that. So what's nice is you can also bubble another tank, so you can apply that. Let's say you're fighting and then someone's pushing, and you got a Hulk or something that you need to give the bubble to. You can apply it to them, and it'll keep them safe. And then if you have your rest of your team here, you can then put your wall up. You kind of want to stagger both of them, because it'll also replenish your alternative fire. So the alt fire there gets charged whenever you were whenever you block damage with that. You see the rings on his back, they'll grow in size whenever you get more of that. Another cool thing about Magneto is his attacks have 20 meters of range, so you can actually hit people with your attack from a distance. The splash damage isn't amazing, but you'll be surprised what you can do when you're just attacking one of them. You can get multiple hits off with them. Magneto also has really good ultimate that'll draw everyone's aggro, because whenever you're up in the air, all hail Magneto, people run. But it also absorbs attacks and powers them up a little bit. So Magneto's great. I think he's one of the best, but just because he's so tanky with this wall and with the bubble. So I'd have to say that Magneto is probably low S tier to high A tier. I think Doctor Strange is a little bit better, but Magneto is really great. I'm going to put him in the S tier. I love playing as Magneto too. He's very strong. We got ourselves another character that I really enjoy with Mantis. Mantis's big thing is she's basically a sniper. So you have 4 heals there. You can see in the middle of the screen there, you have 4 little leaves. So whenever you can apply these to people, you can heal them. You can also give yourself a damage buff and give your teammates a damage buff. What's nice about this is you can get a bunch of easy assists this way. So if you damage boost someone that's going off, like a Hawkeye, they can usually take out enemies a lot quicker that way. Or if you damage boost like a Black Widow, she'll deal extra damage. But what's nice about these is, I'll show you, I'll use up all of my charges there. If we hit headshots, we get them back. So to play Mantis, you want to be buffing yourself for damage and then also healing your teammates as much as possible using these charges and also empowering their damage. You also have a really good heal, or a really good ultimate with the heal. So you can pop that, and whenever you have that up, you can still attack. So different than Luna Snows, you can just get in there. I usually will pop this and then buff the damage of all my teammates. That just gives you the most bang for your buck, I would say. So yeah, Mantis, I could go on and on about her all day. I seriously think that she's S tier, probably somewhere around there. She's top 5 player in the game. Next, we got Moon Knight, who's really fun to play. And depending on your team, he can be really strong. So you can see there, the attacks bounce around from enemy to enemy. You can also pop down your Ankh, and it's going to draw enemies in, and then you can see that they just bounce between them and the Ankh. So you can take out enemies really quickly. You also got this, which can shoot yourself up high in the air, and you can also use your claw to like reach yourself to high ledges and stuff. But you typically just want to throw down your Ankhs and get as much damage in as you can with them. So people will typically take out your Ankh, but if they don't, it's just going to shred them, and they're going to wish that they did. You also have a really fun ultimate, which you can set down there, and it does a good amount of damage over time. But with Moon Knight, the thing is your ult. There is your Ankh. So having those out to bounce off for attacks can help him shred. So yeah, he's very powerful. That double jump's nice. Being able to hook line and fly different ways is nice too, because you can use this to get up to some places that you might not be able to normally get to. I think Moon Knight is very strong, especially with a good team. He can be very unstoppable. So I'd have to say Moon Knight's definitely A tier, maybe the highest A tier that we got here. He's really good. Next, we got ourselves Namor, budget Aquaman. Namor's actually pretty solid though. These squids are actually really good. So the thing is, the squids deal damage over time, and some people just leave them there, but they'll just continue to attack. And you got some pretty nice you got a pretty nice attack here with the spear throw. You also got this bubble that you can use to, if you need a little bit of safety. But you basically want to be getting in, setting up your squids, and going for headshots with your attacks. Namor, I used to think he's not fantastic, but he's actually pretty good. And also a nice ultimate too with that, like, you can call in that there. Yeah, Namor is solid, and I feel like he's a little bit underrated. People were saying he's one of the worst heroes in the game. I thought he was too for a while, but he's actually quite good. So I'd have to say Namor's probably somewhere around low A tier to B tier. Yeah, he's probably somewhere around there. Next, we got ourselves Peni. Now, Penny's an interesting case because she has one of the highest win percentages in competitive. However, she has one of the lowest usage rates in competitive, so that just makes things weird. She has her spider nest here, which you can drop down. It'll give you extra movement speed and heal over time as extra shields, as you can see. And it also spits out these mines. What's nice with the mines is they will deal damage, and you can also place down your own mines. So basically, on defense, Penny's probably one of the best tanks because you can just go in, set up, drop down all these mines, and then the enemy's just going to step on them and get exploded. So it can be really nice for defensive. You can also bind herself to an area, and with this, you can use this to like trick the enemies out because you can like run yourself over here and then swing yourself back. So this is nice if you're using it to flank, and like if you want to be able to trick the enemies out that are shooting at you, you can use this and kind of rope your way around. She also has a tassel attack there, which can tie people up and keep them out of the fight. So really good. Just make sure you're spamming her mines. That's typically the best way to go on about this. But yeah, very defensive and fun. I think Penny's an interesting case. On offense, she's next to useless, but not useless. She's just not well utilized for offense. I would have to say she's like probably like high B tier to low A tier. I'm going to put her at the top of the B tier for now. She could move to A tier. I think that somewhere around there feels good for her. But next we got ourselves Psylocke. Now Psylocke's an interesting case because she's so some people are really bad with her, but she's also got a really big range for headshots. So if you're aiming for a headshot, don't aim at the head. She also has a weird attack pattern. So you can see 4, 4, 3, 3. Yeah, so you can see if we shoot for the head, you're gonna miss with some of the shots. So the best thing to do if you're up close is actually like aiming at the chest. That's gonna give you your most damage. She also has this attack here, which will give her some extra health. So you can see our health went up to 300. Your right click, so you can attack with that and then call them back, which is nice. And you also got this dash attack to move around, and you got invisibility. So yeah, you got lots of movement speed, which is nice. I think Psylocke's one of the hardest to play against if you have a good one, because she can just go in there, delete your healers, and then fly away. She's meant to be like an assassin style character, so she's meant to just get in and take out the healers, and she does that really well. So I'd have to say that Psylocke is probably another S tier choice. I might put her somewhere around there. She could be top of the A tier or S tier. I think she's a great damage hero, but I think that's that for S tiers. She's great. Next, we got ourselves Punisher, who's an interesting case because he's one of the highest damage characters in the game. He's just not, he doesn't get as many final hits. He's still really good though. The thing is, one of the most annoying ultimates to deal with. He's got this machine gun that does a lot of damage. He's kind of like playing Soldier 78. And he also got the shotgun, which hits really hard. You can see at close range, if you get a Punisher up close, he can just blast you with a shotgun and basically take you out. So yeah, the shotgun's really strong. You also have this rope that you can use to like move around, so you got really good mobility, and then you can also use this to like swing back and forth too. So that's one of the cool things about him. He's also got this smoke grenade that he can shoot, and then you also got this that can literally just obliterate people, and it has its own health. So yeah, Punisher is annoying to deal with. I feel like he might get nerfed at some point. I wouldn't say that he's an S tier character though. I think he's probably like an A tier. It's hard for damage. If you play as him or if you play as Moon Knight, you're likely going to get high damage numbers. So I would say that he's probably somewhere A tier. Maybe not better than Moon Knight. It's hard to say. Depends on the game. But next we got Rocket, who's actually one of the highest damage heroes in the game, or highest healing but lowest damage. So his alternative fire makes these little healing orbs, which are really nice because you have a bunch of them, and with this you basically just want to be healing. His damage is very low because you can see there he can shoot with his minigun, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. He also has this healing drone here that he can pop down, and you also got a really nice escape button. So you got this, you can dash around. I see far too many people rushing in with him, and that's not ideal. You want to stay low, and people don't typically go after Rocky because he's not much of a threat offensively, but he's a really great healer, and he's got mobility. So I would say he's probably a bit better than Adam Warlock, who I like playing Adam Warlock more, but Rocket's pretty good. I want to put him in the A tier, probably there. But next we got ourselves Scarlet Witch, who I thought previously was a bit better than she is. So she has this range attack with your alternative fire you can use that usually takes people out, and she also has this attack which drives people nuts. Whenever you're using it, people typically just go right after you. You also got that bomb attack there you can detonate. She does percentage based damage too, so it's really good. She got the ranged attacks. She can also teleport away. Basically people can see where you're at whenever you're doing that, but you can actually fly up, and then if you hold down the spacebar, she can also fly. So she's got mobility for days, and that's really how you'd make the most out of her, is like getting up high, and then if people don't see you, you can just literally drain them from behind there, and then just follow it up with a few attacks. And also one of the best ultimates in the game. So pure chaos. Die. Very annoying to deal with. People typically go right after her now, so I think at launch she was really good. People thought she was S tier because of the ultimate and because they didn't know how to deal with her, but as people got playing, I think that she's actually much less strong than others. I'd have to probably put her in probably the B to C tier. I might put her somewhere around the lowest of the B. I don't mind her, but I just feel like she's not as utilized as some of the other heroes. Spider-Man, this is an interesting one. He's one of the lowest damage vanguard, or one of the lowest damage duelists, but his effects, like where Spider-Man really shines, is being able to distract the enemy, because people will go after Spider-Man, and you can just swing your way around. You can follow it up with these attacks, weapon them up, and then you can punch them into the air, beat them up. And where Spider-Man really shines is mobility. So you can see you got up here, and then you can pull that attack and get in close. He's really fun to play, but hard to master. So we'll just show you again what you want to typically do. You got the Spidey sense there. Your E attack will auto pull you into whoever you got roped up there. So you can use that pretty useful, honestly. So again, you got your shift to swing around there, and you're gonna move around, and with this you got, try to pull that off again, so you can go like that, web them up, and then pull yourself in to get the attacks in. So he's great for taking out healers. If you can aim this properly, you can get them webbed up and then swing your way over to them and just take them out. So Spider-Man, again, he's not as strong as some of the others, but the thing is with Spider-Man, he's got presence. People always try to go after Spidey. So with that, I would say that he's probably, I would probably say B tier, right around there maybe. I wish he was better, but he just isn't. But next we got ourselves Squirrel Girl, who's really funny. I love her design too. They did a great job with the design. The problem is she's just not as strong as some of the others. She has splash damage with her acorns, which is cool. She also has this ball that she can throw and it'll make the squirrels attack there, which is nice. She can also recover her, if you attack, you can also recover your acorns there pretty quickly, and she also has a nice jump that goes away. And it recovers after 8 seconds. The thing is, Squirrel Girl is kind of a one-trick pony. She's not that strong, and all she does is these exploding attacks. I see a lot of people playing as her, and not to say that she's bad, but I just feel like she's not as strong as some of the other ones. So with that, I would say that she's probably C to D tier. Yeah, I just feel like there's others like Moon Knight and Punisher who just do things a lot better than she does. But next we got ourselves Star-Lord, who's Star-Lord's interesting. I feel like he's a stronger version of like Spider-Man, even though they're not anything alike, just the mobility. So actually even maybe a better version of Iron Man. So he's not, obviously he's not like super overpowered, but you got these attacks here that are really nice. You can also, so you can attack, backflip, and it'll reload your gun, so you can go and backflip and keep firing. You also have a nice area of effect attack if you get in close, so you can move your way in and then go with this here, and you're pretty hard to hit when you're doing that too, so that's another nice thing. But movement speed and mobility, this is like the Tracer of from Overwatch in Marvel Rivals. So yeah, I think he's fun to play, and if you're really good at playing him, he can be a pretty big menace on the fight. But I feel like he's probably outclassed in a lot of areas. So with that, I'd have to say Star-Lord's probably I might go B tier and move Penny up to A tier. Yeah, I think that goes well, and probably put him right around Spider-Man there. Next we got Storm, who I feel like they need to buff, because Storm is the least played character, and she's also really weak. It's also funny that Hawkeye can shoot unlimited arrows, and she has to reload her wind. So yeah, Storm really does need a buff, because she's not that strong, and there's no real reason to play her. You almost never see her in fights. She does have a nice team up with Thor and Captain America. So if you have a Thor on the team, she can be fun. But I just feel like she's just not well utilized compared to a lot of the other characters. So yeah, I'd have to say that she's probably another character I'm going to put into the D tier. She might be the worst. So yeah, we're going to throw her into the D tier there. But next we got ourselves Thor, who I really like. I just did a build on how to, or I did a guide on how to play Thor. So he's got the ability to use like these hammer charges. You get them back when you hit enemies with your hammer. You can also get them back by dropping this down and having enemies in it. It'll slow them down, doesn't damage them, just slows them. So Thor's big thing is he's a tank, but he's also pretty good at soloing out the healer. So that hammer spin is going to be like what you want to be using most of the time, so you can take enemies away from where they're at. And you also get health by using that. So you can see here, spinning the hammer, we're going to go back up to the 800 health. The combo that I think works best is, I'll do it again there, attacking with your spin attack to start. So we go with this, attack a few times until you can throw the hammer again. And the hammer throw actually has a really nice animation cancel. So if you're following up an attack, boom, throw the hammer and you can get another quick attack in. He also has a really good ultimate here, which hits damage over time and then hits pretty hard whenever you land down, usually taking out a support or two. So I would say Thor is great. I think that people aren't giving him his proper usage, because they play him like a dive tank, and he's not. He's a disruptor. He's there to get in and kind of distract enemies. So I'd probably put him right around where Magik is, I'd say. I think he deserves a buff to make him feel like Thor, but I think he's fun to play. Next we got ourselves Venom, who I loved Venom at launch, but I'm slowly starting to realize that Venom's not as good as previously thought. So he has this nice diving strike here you can use. He also has an unlimited attack with the tendrils, and he can also melee attack, so you can go and boom. And you got nice melee, which is fun, but typically he's just, I don't know what it is about Venom. I've been trying to play him a lot. He feels like a selfish character almost. He can also bind targets, so you can go here and bind them together and pull yourself into them, which is nice. And in addition to this, whenever your health gets low, you have a really good shield. So the lower your health is, the more shield you get. So if you use it at max health, you only get 100, but if you're at 100 health, you get like 800. So that's cool. I think that Venom is in need of a buff, I would say. I like Venom, but I feel like he does need something to make him a little bit stronger. So for that, I'd probably say Venom. I don't want to put, maybe I'll move Captain America up to B, and then we'll leave, yeah, we'll put Captain America B, we'll put Venom at the top of the C tier. The next we got Bucky, Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. I really like him. So, Revolver God. You basically are just going for headshots with him if you can. He's got really good damage with this 3-fire gun. He also has a really nice dash there, and then also you got this, which you can use to pull them in. And what's nice about that is if you grab a healer with that, you can just pretty much take them out. And he also has this energy attack there, but his ultimate's really the biggest thing that goes for him. So you can go armed and dangerous, and then if you take them out, you get your ultimate back. So you can continue to go again and just continue to spam it if you're lucky enough to take them out. It actually has a really nice area for hitting them too, which is awesome. So if you take them out, you just continually get it. Whenever you hear Bucky say again, people are going after him just to take him out, because you can literally just keep spamming that, which is crazy. So very powerful hero, and I would say that he's probably a high A tier to maybe S tier. In the right hands, I'm going to put him in the A tier, probably right above Magik. I might move Thor above Magik there. Finally, we got ourselves Wolverine, who I feel like they did really dirty in this game, and he's definitely going to get a buff. I also really wish they made Wolverine a Vanguard. That would have been perfect. We have too many duelists, and he would have had cool mechanics, because Wolverine's meant to be like pretty invincible. So you have this nice attack. He has a cool team up with Hulk, so you can get in, deal a bunch of damage. He also has a really nice ability to survive too. So he's probably like the tankiest duelist in the game, but I just feel like he doesn't fill the role very well. And it doesn't feel like you're playing as Wolverine. I think he's definitely in need of a nerf or a buff. But we'll see let's see what they do with him. I think he will get better in time. He's fun to play too, so that counts for something. But yeah, I'd have to say that he's probably gonna go into the D tier. Unfortunately, I just feel like he's not that strong. He's probably the strongest. He could be like a C tier, but somewhere around there. So there's my tier list. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Doctor Strange probably the strongest, best. If you have a Doctor Strange, you're gonna probably win if they're good. Hawkeye, also great damage. Luna Snow, great support. Hela, enough said, it's Hela. She's a sniper. Mantis, great for buffing up your teammates. Mantis and Luna Snow together, awesome. Groot, the underrated king, great for walling off healers and taking them out, and also the most damaging tank. Cloak and Dagger, easy mode. I love Cloak and Dagger. Psylocke, very underrated. And Magneto, also very strong. Let me know your thoughts again in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.